Hey guys, my name is Joshua Koerner, and in this video we're not going to be talking about what's in my hands. What's in my hands is the Sony a7III and the Tamron 2875 f2.8 Di3RXD. What we're talking about today is the Sigma 30mm f1.4. Now this is what I'm being filmed on right now. So you should have a pretty good indicator of what you think about it as the video goes on. I'm gonna keep on shooting with this because I'm enjoying my time out here, and why the hell not? So the Sigma 30 f1.4 was the first and only lens that I bought for my a6300. I got it with the kit lens because I needed to be able to use it. I got that 6300 because I was like, you know what? It is really important to me to be able to do better video than what I could get on my 6D. And I really found that as I started taking YouTube more seriously, I was more invested in the quality of the content from an image perspective than I really thought that I would be. I'm a photographer, right? That's how I kind of got into the whole camera shtick, and I love taking pictures. So when you say to me, interested in getting good image quality. Image quality to me, in part, means how many pixels on the focal plane can I resolve. The Sigma 30 f1.4 can resolve 66, a massive amount of pixels, percent of the focal plane. That's like 18 out of the 24. You're never gonna get 18 of your 24 megapixels on the a6300 or on the a6000, the 6500, if you choose to shoot it on a full frame camera, in the focal plane, just quite simply because it's an f1.4. It performs best at f1.4 according to very scientific testing done by DxOMark. So this is a lens that's incredibly impressive. When you think about how it stacks up against the competition, when you think about the Sigma 30 f2.8 art lens, that can resolve 12 megapixels. When you think about on a 24 megapixel sensor, when you think about the Sony 35 f1.8 with OSS, that OSS is a big point, but that can only resolve 11 megapixels on the sensor. So, and that's when everything is in the focal plane. So it's really not, it's not much for those other two, but it's a surprising amount for the 30 f1.4. It's an incredible value for the money for a lot of reasons. The other reason is the aperture. So when you look at the price point, right, the 30 f1.4 costs $340. The 30 f2.8 from Sigma costs $170. The Sony costs $450. You're getting 2/3 of a stop more than the Sony in terms of aperture. So that's a ton more light, really great low light performance on the Sigma. You're getting a full 2 stops more than the Sigma 30 f2.8. So you really have a ton of flexibility, and it's really worth it for the money. When we just take a second to recap this, the 30 f1.4 can resolve about 1.5 times as many pixels as both the 30 f2.8 and the Sony 35 f1.8. Now the Sony does have optical stabilization, so you can keep your shutter speed a little bit slower, but Sony's optical stabilization has not really had a history of being an impressive performer. One might almost say that it belongs here. So when we're moving on from the optical performance, when we're moving on from, you know, the price point, one of the other things that I think it's wise to consider is the build quality. If you're gonna get into Sony lenses, Sony APS-C E-mount lenses, you're probably doing it for a good reason. And you're probably enjoying getting into photography. You want your lens to last. The Sigma 30 f1.4 is a great lens for build quality. Sigma has this thermally stable composite material they use for their art series lenses and for this one as well, this contemporary series lens. And this is a very special thing. It's plastic and glass, optical glass, So it's a very stable construction, very thermally conductive, so you don't overheat and get your optical elements out of alignment. Everything is gonna be very stable that way. It is, however, not weather sealed. And although the manual focus control is relatively linear for it being a focus by wire system, it's not entirely. Bit of a pain on that front, but in terms of build quality, that focus ring is really nice to use. One of the great things about this lens is that it is actually IAF compatible. A lot of third-party lenses aren't. A lot of third-party lenses for the E-mount system are manual focus, but one of the things that I really love about this is that you can get the entire Sony experience with it. You can do IAF, you can do fantastic continuous autofocus in video. You're gonna use all of the 425, 117, 425, whichever, autofocus points, and it's gonna perform really well. I've actually put this on my buddy's a6300 I convinced him to get for their honeymoon, and he loved it. He was like, wow, I should get this. Now, this is the same buddy that I've tried to get him to buy a drone and get him to buy this lens, but you know, he has a mortgage and I don't, so there's that. Videographer for right now has gotten tired, and so I am going ahead and shooting this segment. Please forgive me if I'm a little bit too tight, which I believe I will be. This is a 50mm equivalent lens, so it is going to be a little tight if your interest is selfies. If your interest is anything but selfies, you're probably going to be just fine because it's small, it balances well on the a6000 series bodies, on the a6300, which I have it on right now. So it's a great option for just about everything, actually. A 50mm equivalent lens is the same focal length as the human eye, just about. So you're gonna get a really nice shot. And actually, this isn't a 50 equivalent, this is a 45 equivalent. 45 equivalent is actually closer to the human eye because the human eye is 44.5. So this replicates just about perfectly the world that we see all around us all the time. One of the downsides of this lens is that it has a 1.7 EV vignette at f1.4. Now, you're gonna care about that or you're not. The lens in general performs its best at f1.4, so I would highly recommend using it at f1.4, but you're gonna get rid of that vignette, you're gonna get rid of a lot of the nastiness by f1.8, f2.8 for sure, so I would highly recommend leaving this wide open despite some of that vignette. I so much appreciate your time and your attention in this video. I have, like always, loved bringing this content to you, and I really hope that it's brought some value to you because I think this is a really special lens. It changed the way that I saw photography. It changed the way that I saw videography. It changed the way I saw the ability of a lens to resolve an image. So I would love it if y'all could smash that like button and subscribe if you did like it, if you think that I'm worth it. If you don't, dislike it. That will help me make better content for you. So yeah, thank you very much for your time and for your attention, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.